Yo, what's good, guys? Producer Mykah here, and today, guys, I'm going to be showing you this amazing plugin. One is called Golf Force and the other is Croftor. Hope I'm calling the name right. They sent me this plugin to check it out and also to give my feedback on this plugin. And the good thing is they're actually doing a 50% Black Friday sale, so 50% off. So let's just go right into our DAW. I'm going to be using this beat to show you how amazing these two plugins are. First plug we're going to be looking at is Golf Force. It's an intelligent EQ. It listens to your signal and try to balance it based on the signal it's hearing. It's a very simple plugin, simple interface, and it just has few knobs. And I really love plugins that have few knobs or few controls because it's just easy for you to be able to understand what that plugin is doing. So if you look at here, we have the recover, we have the tame. We're just going to be looking at the recover and the tame first. After that, we look at the bias and also the brighten and the boost. What this recover does basically, it's listen to your input and try to see which frequency is not really dominating. So you try to balance that frequencies. So let's say maybe for this signal, for example, it's good to just hear what it does in context, right? So let's play something. I'm not going to increase it all the way up. So yeah, this is totally explaining it well. So this signal is a bass. You can see it's doing a lot of boost on the high because it's assuming that, oh, there's no much signal, there's no much focus on the high end, so I think I should boost the high end instead of the low end. So it's just trying to recover. So you can see it's ducking the low end and boosting a little bit in much more of the of the highs. So if I bring it down, you can see it's still focusing on the high. So basically you do all these in context. You still have to use your ear to hear that, oh, make sure that, oh, this is sounding really nice. So when it comes to tame is basically like the opposite of the recover. So the tame listens to your signal and it tries to tame those dominating, I think that's the word, those dominating frequencies, tries to just tame it down. So let me just increase the tame all the way to 100. You're gonna see, so you can see it's taming, focusing more, bringing down that low end. But this is too much, so I'm just going to bring it down. So why I love this is because I don't really need to do a lot of thought process into it. Let me just go into this part of the vocals where you have yeah, I've been running, I've been chasing shadows. Yeah, so what's the vocal? How about vocal? So I did have Golf Force right there. And you can see I'm just doing a little bit of the recover, but I'm just going to bring everything down to 0. Just a quick overview, right? So recover basically brings forward details that are buried. So I'm just going to do that for our vocals. Let's just increase it. Yeah, I've been running, with this selected, you can actually select the region. So for example, for my vocals, I don't want it to really it shouldn't, because we don't have much going on in this low end, so I don't want it to affect anything in the low end. So all I just need to do is drag in this till I get to the level at which I want. And yeah, I've been running, I've been chasing shadows. So that is it for the recover. And what the tame does, the tame just basically reduces harsh or dominant frequencies. So whatever signal you give it, it listens, and those dominating and harsh frequencies, it tries to like talk them down. So let's just work on that. Let's take it all the way up. Yeah, I've been running, I've been chasing shadows. So the bias basically just controls the direction, right? So let's increase this and we'll see how that in context. Yeah, I've been running, I've been chasing shadows. Yeah, so you can see me, once I increase it, it moves to the high, and once I reduce it into the negative sections, it moves to the low. So most times I don't really even touch this. I just leave it on the default, which is 0. I just basically use the recover and tame. Those are the two that I just love using. The brighten, just as the name implies, just brighten. So once I increase it, so it just adds air, basically adds air and clarity without harshness. Yeah, I've been running, I've been chasing. So without harshness, so I can increase it all the way to 100. Yeah, I've been running, I've been chasing shadows. and see it has done it, no harshness. Just I can even leave it at 100 and it's still really, really, really nice. Then finally the boost. What the boost does, it just lifts tonal balance and perceived loudness. So that's just what it does. It lifts the tonal balance and perceived loudness. So I can decide to like I've been running, I've been chasing shadows. Yeah, so for me, basically, I just focus more on the recover and on the theme, and it gets the job done for me. Yeah, but just like I said, you can basically drop God force on any of your signal, whether your drum boss, on your guitar samples, wherever sample you are finding that muddiness or that not too clean of a sample, just drop God force there, do a little bit of tweaking on the recover and on the bias, and you have a very nice output. So the next plugin, you're gonna really love this one. It's called Crafter or Crafter. I'm not calling the name right. I think it's Crafter. Yeah. So let's just load that. And this is another amazing plugin. So Crafter basically, just makes your mix instantly louder, fuller, and more punchier. I just like it that when I load the plugin, I'm just able to just do one or two touches and I get the desired result, and Crafter does that for me. So it's also a saturator basically that thinks like a dynamic processor. All right, so I'm just going to show you how this works. And so if you ever wanted saturation that actually helps your mix instead of ruining it, this is definitely the plugin for you. Dry signal, we have the single, we have the multi, we have the drive, the offset, the knee, the low shift, mid shift, and high shift. So these are basically just the few knobs we're just going to be talking about, right? So let's just start from the drive, right? So the drive basically just add harmonic and saturation and loudness. So just think of this as your main energy control. So I'm just going to hit play and just try to increase it. So you can see how it has added that energy to it, but I've done that too much, so I'm just going to bring it down a little bit. So I have So that's it for the drive. The drive does add that harmonic saturation and loudness, right? Then next knob we have over here is the offset. So the offsets, just shift the saturation behavior. So what this does is just helps you shape the tone, the punch and the density. So let's just increase that and hear it in context. And as you can see from the graph, you can see that bend. Nice. So I think let's just put that in that region. Then the next knob here we have is the knee. So what the knee does is just controls how soft or aggressive the saturation curve is. So like you have your knee in most of your compressors, right? So you can see how it's working on that curve. So this is where Crafter basically gets very, very unique from other saturations, right? Is when it comes to, it lets you put the saturation behavior of specific frequency area. So you can decide to focus on just the low, you can decide to focus on just the mid, or you can decide to focus on the high, and you can just do that by soloing here. So once I solo here, right, I can focus basically on just the low. So I can decide to want to then we can focus on the mid. Then we can focus on the highs. So let's hear it all together. And I'm not going to bypass it so we hear what it was before Crafter. So you can hear how punchy, how nice it has become, guys. Like this is nice. This is so nice. So you could add more punch with the low shift. You could add more mid forwardness with the mid shift, and you can add more highs, and excitement with the high shift. So just having all this instead of like having to be able to control all this, for me is an amazing feature. And big shout out to Sound Theory. Okay, so another feature you might be asking, what is this triangle right on top, right? So this is one of Crafter's most creative feature. So the bottom left, so that's, or let's go here, is the drive. So it's just like, so this way I think Yeah, so this way it's just like, nothing is happening. It's just like it's turned off, the dry signal, right? So then we have the single band. Then here we have the multi-band. So single band, we have the multi-band. So the multi-band is where you get to see your low shift, your mid shift, and your high shift, right? So why here is just just one single band. So yeah, so you can just decide you want to blend them together. Just basically for me, when it comes to making music, I tell people you have to focus more on what you're hearing. So your ear has to be the judge. You just have to know what sounds nice for you. All right, so with this, I can decide to, have a blend of the both and just keep it in the middle. So most times I just keep it right in the middle. So yeah, you can use this basically on your mix boss, on your, on individual bosses like your drum boss, your melodic boss. But for me, I've always just been using it on the master boss, and I would suggest, you try there because that's where you are definitely going to hear the full impact. So I'm just going to bypass this. So then let's turn it off. But let me just try to match the gain so we hear it. We hear it together. Yeah, so it's bypassed. So you can see that added that loudness is more fuller, it's more puncher. So for me, guys, these two plugins are like my plugins I'll tell you guys to go get on this Black Friday sale, because trust me, they're doing 50% off. So it's definitely something you want to go grab while it lasts. So Crofter and Golfos are amazing plugin by Sound Theory, and they are sponsoring this video. So guys, I would love you guys to also go try get these plugins, and you can get them 50% off. So hope you got something from this video, guys. If you did, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification so you get notified when next I post. And thank you guys for watching, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.